Thanks. Hi, everybody. First in the chat. Are we? I'm drinking some black tea, Earl Grey. It's got honey mixed into it. I've been ready.
Hello and welcome to another stream on Behance and YouTube. We are doing a traditional stream today. All the fun artwork stuff is going to happen. We've got a plethora of different tools. We've got watercolor, we got gouache, we got pencils, we got pens, we got everything. Welcome, everybody. How you doing? I think Anthony was the first in the chat, right? Yeah, Anthony Sims, whoever that is. Gold star to you, sir.
He appreciates it.
Then we got Rin, we've got Alessandra. Thank you so much for being here, friends. It's lovely to see you. Sorry you don't see us. I just didn't want to be perceived today, so deal with it.
Just your fingies.
Just your voice. So I
love how your foul little mind works.
Oh, God.
Just throwing Disney villain quotes around today, huh?
I was inspired by not only having all of the tools that I could ever want, but also from this artist who visited my home and actually did an original piece. This is from
James.
He doesn't visit my home. This is my niece Enzi. We were drawing together at the end of our Mother's Day visit the other day. She brought out all the pencils and pens. She was very, very amazing at carrying. She had these 2 pencil holders and she was carrying them so gingerly and yet like a pro. Anyways, I'm proud of her. She's turning 2 soon, so it's a feat. Anyways,
aww, that's so sweet.
I drew a little orange sun. I don't know if you can tell, because she blotted it out very promptly with her green marker. Yeah. She was like, no to that in particular. So yeah, having her do some free artwork made me want to do some free artwork as well. I did do one little piece last night, which is this little fox.
Oh my gosh. And I just whipped this out. No big deal.
You know. No, I was...
that looks amazing. I love that.
Oh, it's yours. You're welcome.
I mean, my birthday is less than a month away.
Oh, sorry. No, I have to make you something that's a surprise if it's for the birthday. I can't just show you.
I mean, this could be in addition to.
Oh, I see that.
This could be what the actual present is wrapped in, and I'll just tear through this to get to the gift.
Exactly what I always do. Just a full watercolor painting. I pour my heart and soul into, and then you tear through it.
Yeah, Rin's having the same reaction I did. Like, whoa! I love this. This is great. Corinne is here too, saying LOL. Just this little piece.
It's honest. I mean, it's not
too big. We also have Alessandra in the chat. Hey, everybody.
Everybody.
No, that's great. Did the orange sun surrounded by green inspire you from Enzi's piece? Is this why you
Exactly. You get it. It's like the green is covering. No, you do not show.
No, you do not.
I think I really like the piece, especially the tree. I think the tree is my favorite part by far. Like how the moss intermingles down here makes me happy.
Oh, the texture on that tree.
Oh, but the fox itself, I think, could use a little work on the posing and I don't know, maybe connecting with the viewer a little bit more. But that's why we do these things. It's just to practice and try again. So I have this prepared sheet of watercolor paper taped down and everything. So that's the same thing that I did for this one, but it's a little bit bigger, a little bit taller. So we can try out either doing this one again and, correcting some foibles or whatever, or we could do a whole new piece. I don't really
Whole new
care.
piece. Let's do a whole new piece.
Whole new piece. A whole new
TD in the chat saying fox. Nice.
Fox.
That's what that little emoji means, right? Nice. We also have the Canadian Pulse over on YouTube. First in the chat over there.
Canadian Pulse, what's up? And we also have these small sketchbooks made of Mohawk paper that my friend Julia handmade and decorated for me. These are amazing, and we've been using them through the streams quite a bit. We have some like older pieces of just fun stuff. So we will be dabbling in all of these things. Really, I'm just going to follow my fancy. This is what we did on the last stream. That was a traditional one. So what I think I'm going to do is just start with some sketching, because I have some ideas of things and I just kind of want to put them down, and usually sketching is the fastest way to just get it through from my head to the paper. Sometimes I do like to just straight paint. Like this one, I didn't really sketch around almost at all. I actually, I might have the sketch in here. Yeah. Okay, so. Oh golly, are you going to show it? There we go. That's the sketch. It's like looking in a mirror. See? Wow. Oh, come on, focus.
Really translated.
Now we've got a mer person, because obviously it's mermaid, so we could also
Is that
do
Luca? Did I see Luca?
There's a Luca-ish character, yeah. I wanted to play with the, like, making it four-legged creature with a tail, because I do love that idea as, like, a mer person of some sort.
Yeah.
But I gave him a tail that I like, which is kind of like an axolotl tail.
Rin loves that little burb.
Wait. Oh, the little burb, yeah. This friend. I also had a dream of doing a cabbage piece, like a bunch of cabbages with a little mouse poking out of it. I don't know. Maybe I'll do it later. But, yeah, just drawing around some sketches of faces.
Nice, nice. How long does a typical head sketch usually take you before you move on to the next one?
Timing.
The best way to time it? Okay, it's 3:07.
Okay. Basically, I just try to make the features all very different sizes from all the others that I've done. I think I want like a big nostril on this one because I don't really have many of those. Some kind of attitude, you know?
Some kind of
attitude. Tiny eyebrows or big eyebrows?
Big. I love a big chunky eyebrow.
Big chunky brow.
Yes.
Yes. And last night I really had to work on loosening up because it's been a while since I did like.
You're not gonna sing that? You always sing that.
It's been a while
there
since
we go.
I've been sketching. It's a butt chin. Yes. I think he also deserves some kind of like mustache. Yes, good.
Maybe a small one
No.
to complement his
No.
eyebrows. Or is it just like you've got 3 whole things on your face?
You've got 3 things, okay? 3 brows, and you gotta have them all. I gotta have my pops.
Oh, I like the big one. You're right.
Yeah, you're right.
Thick.
And then I think of like what kind of shirt they might be wearing. I don't know. I'm giving him like a collared one, I suppose. Oh, if I know how to draw collars, which I don't.
Loosen up. Loosen up.
Yeah, exactly. The whole idea is care not, want not, just do.
Bliss joining in the chat. Hey, Bliss.
Hey, Bliss. How you doing? We're just free sketching because this is what we ended up doing. I think this guy has like up hair.
Depends on the attitude.
I suppose so. There. And then, so
Calling it? It's 3:09.
Oh,
Took
3:09.
2 minutes.
Boom, nailed it. So
That
last night,
is
I don't know if
nice.
you guys can tell which one I did first. Can you guess?
I'm top left. I don't know. That's usually where pages start, right?
Oh, no, I started with this guy. Very, like, if you look at the mark making compared to the one that we just did, it's so much more, like, delicate, which is not a bad thing necessarily, but that's just how I am
Maybe
when I'm
you're
first, like...
honing in, that's where you should be going.
Exactly. I take much longer and I try to make it all delicate, and now I'm just kind of trying to...
I like that they're side-eyeing each other. The first and the last ones that you drew are just side-eyeing each other.
No,
I see you
I'm
over
the
there,
quick
first
one.
sketch.
Although my favorites of all of them are the older ones, always. Like, that is a strong face, and then that is a strong face.
Oh, the older characters. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Not older the sketch, but just older the characters. They have just so many fun wrinkles that really emphasize what they look like, their, I don't know, their attitude or whatever is. But yeah, the idea here is just to try to explore as many different kinds of faces as you possibly can, and maybe even like shoulders and stuff. I remember this from back in school that people were like, oh yes, you can tell so much emotion through people's shoulders. So this guy's gonna be shrugging like, I don't know. That's a hand, by the way. Do you see it? You can shrug and say no. Be my reference.
Oh, I see it now. I see it.
Let's do like a hook nose, and then like really high up your eyes.
Even his eyes are shrugging.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I also tend to really like long faces for some reason. They just have like a good feeling to me. Why the long face? Because Anna said so. Are you laughing at me?
Yeah. I mean, with you.
Somehow I don't believe him. He's gonna be looking at the other guy. Wait, you're supposed to do squash and stretch opposite. So if this side of the mouth is going up, then this should be the down, so that we get squash on one side and then stretch on the other. So this one's like open and then this one goes up. Yeah, you get it?
Squash and stretch, baby.
Baby. Oh, maybe
Is that a vertical compliment that you're talking about?
A vertical compliment? Is that a thing?
Instead of like side to side? How are you determining what's getting squashed and what's getting stretched?
If I put his nose or like this little pinch of skin up, like his mouth is going up, so it's like this muscle is being pulled. And so if this is going up, then I want the eyebrow to come down so that
on
the
the same side
like
of the face,
squash.
right?
And then the opposite happens on the other side, stretch.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think of it more full body, where it's like squash on one side, stretch on the other, but not so much like squash on this part of the face and then stretch on that part of the face above it. So it's squash and stretch on the same side, but vertically.
Exactly. Hand.
So many little calculations your brain has to do just intuitively. Well, gotta hand it to you.
Hand it. You get it? You get it? You get it?
I got it. I gave
like
it.
Shaving. I like shaving the nose. There you go. Another little guy. So you can fill out a
got a lumpy head.
Yeah, we like that. Where it's like, oh, the what do you call it? The exaggerated expression actually moves the face. I love that. There's some of that in like Paranorman and stuff like that. Like they are not regular shapes. Mm-hmm. And I love who the artist's name is. I'm forgetting it.
Oh, we just saw this on Pinterest the other day, right?
I don't know. Did we?
Yeah, we were going through some Dream Portfolio stuff, and he did some environmental sketches of the house in Coraline in the foreground.
Oh,
was that
you're
a different
thinking
artist?
The environmental one. Yeah, that the character artist is female, and I can't remember her name. But the environment artist was... Is that Tadahiro Uesugi?
That sounds right, but I'd have to look it up.
Let's do a mermaid. I always do like a upright torso. What if we did like a downward? What if they were laying down but just with their arms? And their body was like up like that.
Yeah.
Was that a big old hiccup for the boy?
It was just a small one.
Just a tiny little one. A baby hiccup.
I'm not seeing her name on any of these pieces.
I know her name. I know your name.
Yeah. Oh, maybe on this one. Shine Progmare. How do I zoom in on this image? No, that looks like it says Shane Progmore or something. I don't know.
Oh my gosh, it's killing me. Okay, I'm gonna look it up. I've got it. Do 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 do. Come on, you know her name. What is her name?
Steph Choi.
No. Heidi Smith. Boom.
Heidi Smith.
Heidi. Oh, Heidi Smith is great. I love her work all day. Sorry, been watching a lot of Whose Line Is It Anyway, and they do the whatchamacallits.
Songs
of
comedy.
You know the sound. Oh golly, what is it called? It's when they're it's
Heidi
hoedown.
Smith. Hoedown, right.
Heidi Smith hoedown.
Right.
I kind of want to get that tail from what's this one? Haha, this kind of fish. I can't remember their names again. They're like one of my favorite fishes, and I cannot remember what they're called.
Here, we'll just look it up.
Look it up.
Do you know anything about the fish?
In Animal Crossing, it's one of the biggest ones.
Animal Crossing big fish.
And it looks like a long betta fish. I think it starts with an A.
Oh, okay. A. Arowana.
Yeah.
That's from Rin in the chat.
Rin knows everything, so that's correct. Once again, A+, Rin. Arowana. They are so flippin' beautiful, and I can't even deal with it, and that's the kind of fish I want to be.
Get them from the river. Their category is large on whatever this website is telling me. They're worth large. 10,000 bells, I think.
Hot dang.
You can find them between 4 p.m. and 9 a.m. from June to September in the north and December to March in the south.
Hot dang.
Southern hemispheres. Fun.
So fun.
Rin says I'm slacking. Banned. And then says that they're jesting, so reinstated.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
Okay.
All right, now, ladies. Yeah.
We did this last time. What? You're making fun of my lady voice?
It was so feeble. Yeah.
That lady was just waking up from a nap.
Yeah. I guess I'm here. Oh my gosh.
Rin's calling this a ponyo dragon.
Ponyo dragon, little fishy in the sea. It's a ponyo dragon. Don't you love it?
Yes.
Yes.
Think in colors?
Huh?
Think in colors? Is there any watercolor that you haven't tested out yet?
I mean, honestly, I've been at home in the greens. Like, this is my home. This is where I stay. I'd never move.
Lean into it, or do purple and yellow.
Ooh, should we do a river mermaid? River maid.
This is a really long river, huh? Got quite the mouth on it.
What a mouthy river. I'm trying to think of... Shut it down.
It's like a babbling brook, but incoherent river.
Incoherent. incoherent. Shut your mouth. It's incoherent.
Is this a Whose Line Hoedown?
No, it's a song. It's about a river.
Oh, right. Is it Haim?
Blah, 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 da, da, be, da, da, be, ba. You know.
Yeah. Capital H, capital A, capital I, capital M. I think there's spaces in between all of them. Is that right?
They did a collab with Vampire Weekend. That's what I know.
The River song was a
No.
collab.
The Haim did a collab with Vampire Weekend, and it was the Father of the Bride song.
Oh.
So now you know.
Danielle
and you've really
Haim on
tested the limits of
collaborating
what my brain
vampires.
can remember.
Nah.
Yeah.
You're just getting started.
I'm dried out, man. Brain no working anymore.
I think it's getting warmed up because before this, you're like, oh, I can't remember. Oh, I can't remember. Oh, I can't remember. But you've remembered this. So trajectory is going up.
I like your, I don't know, willful
Well,
ignorance.
okay. It's dipping a little bit. Nice cackle.
Ow.
A+. Oh, it hurt you. A
No,
crackle.
you hurt me.
Oh.
Just your funniness. This is too much. It hurts. Ow.
Oh.
There's something in my eye. Oh, God.
Is it tears of joy?
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. Thanks for everybody for your concern, but I'm okay. And are you okay? Are you okay? Are you
I was
okay?
thinking this earlier. Why?
I
And then I was thinking of
stop.
Annie Oakley.
Annie Oakley. Annie Oakley. Are you Oakley? Annie?
Yeah, exactly.
You've been struck by a smooth criminal.
Which makes sense in Annie Oakley's case, doesn't it?
I don't really know the story of Annie Oakley. Sorry.
Annie Oakley. American marksman.
Oh.
1860 to 1926 was an American sharpshooter who starred in Buffalo Bill's Wild West show.
Who could have known?
Wikipedia.
I mean, who of us non-Wikipedia people?
Let's see. Maybe Ren.
Rin is very much a Wikipedia person. She's just downloaded the internet into her brain.
Oh, that happened in an episode of Static Shock. It was Static Shock's friend somehow got mutated into a super knowledge.
A super knowledge? Wow. I've never heard of such a thing.
So I think he got plugged into the internet and then struck by lightning or something.
Sweet. They always
You
get
know,
evil when that happens.
mutants. No, he was his sidekick and helped make like a bunch of gear for Static Shock. Did you ever watch Static Shock?
Once upon a time. Right now we're watching Young Justice, and there is Static Shock in that. So does that
Cool.
count?
Oh. Static Shock
Does she look
was
like there's something behind her eyes?
dreams.
Static Shock was dreams?
Well, that's what was behind her eyes. It aired from
I-
2000 to 2004.
2000 to 2004. Cool.
Richard Osgood Foley. His superhero name was Gear. Voiced by Jason Marsden.
Oh, who's Jason Marsden? That sounds familiar.
Haku.
Haku!
And Max Goof.
Maximum goof.
Yeah. Well, that's fun.
Thanks for that little Wikipedia trip.
Static's real name is Virgil.
Hey, Virgil. Hey, call me Static, okay?
Oh. Richie's passive exposure to the bang gas gave him super intelligence.
Bang gas? Bang gas? What?
Yeah. Okay, so as this is in Static's description, but it describes what it was. As a result of an accidental exposure to an experimental mutagen in an event known as the Big Bang, he gained the ability to control and manipulate electromagnetism. And then other people were exposed to the Big Bang, which I guess had bang gas in it.
I'm confused. I've got a lot of questions.
I think something blew up and some gas got spread around the environment. Because it was a gas that leaked out of whatever blew up.
Does that explain anything?
I mean, how else are they going to mutate into super beings without bang gas?
I don't agree. I disagree.
Bang gas sounds uncomfortable.
It all sounds uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable.
Well, that's
now.
enough of that.
Thanks for
Wikipedia.
everything.
What are you working on?
Oh, just this little like thumbnail of a mer person. A merp.
I think you could
merpin?
probably call that good and then go on to a full-on painting to impress everybody.
Why? Why are you?
Because your
Why are
Fox
you?
sketch was just like this, like a little, call it good. I'll just paint the rest from here. And it turned
Why?
out great.
Yeah, but I'm not
Yeah,
confident.
but
in this.
what? Oh, were you confident about the Fox one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Rin's gotta head out. Bye,
see ya,
Rin.
Rin!
Thanks
Have a good
Bye.
Rin. Have a good Rin. Good riddance.
Well, that's rude.
No, it's funny.
Oh. Haha, good riddance.
Riddance.
I tried
You get
really
it?
hard to
Oh,
rin
okay.
it, but I guess I slurred it all together.
Okay, well, Rin, we love you, and I hope that you're. Whatever,
Yeah, do you have a
meeting is
nice
great.
Rin pun?
Oh, you're ridiculous.
Gotta take it on the Rin. Is that like take it on the
Take it
chin?
on the chin? Okay, yeah, I'll take that on the chin. Okay, so I have some thoughts.
Go on. Oh, goodbye, thumbnail.
Goodbye! No, it's just, I want some.
That tail that you just
Crossover.
erased was like a perfect ampersand.
Oh my god, that's my name. What? That is my name. That is my name. They call me Stacy. They call me her. Okay. Anyway, sorry. That's another
Who
song.
sings that?
I know this. This is some trivia I could win, given the proper amount of time. That's not my name. That's not my name. Oh my gosh, what is it? It's not.
It starts with a T.
Hello, little boys, little toys, with the dreams you believe
That's Shiny
in.
Toy Guns.
That's Shiny Toy Guns.
This one starts. Well, it has 3 T's in their full title. T T T.
Tegan and Tara.
Wow, that's a good guess, but no.
Tiny Toy Soldiers.
TI is a good start to it. TIN even.
Tina.
Nope.
Tina and the tuberculosis.
Go a few letters down the alphabet.
Taekwondo. Teen.
Oh, not that far down the
Vogue.
alphabet.
Tepid water. Tennis
further up the
ball.
alphabet.
T. Man, I don't know. Just tell me.
Ting Tings! The Ting Tings!
Okay, I was not gonna get there.
Well, if I had you keep spelling it out, you would have coward.
It would have been horrible.
You would have been like, okay, what did I just spell? I have no
I
idea.
don't even remember. That's exactly how it would go. Okay, so what I'm thinking is we have our mermaid gal up here on a rock, and then we have some like little rocks underneath the water, and then we're gonna just kind of phase it out to like a deep blue, I think, like blue-green maybe, because this is supposed to be a river mermaid, so river maid. So it's gonna be mostly mossy and green and stuff, especially up here. I think we'll kind of mimic the forest from the other piece, and then down here we'll have some kind of bluish.
You could have the fox poking his head out from one of the trees. That's like a little callback.
Crossover.
Yeah. I'm gonna Google what's French for river so we can call this.
Okay. Well, the maiden up here is gonna have like long dark hair, I think. kind of like wet seaweed. What?
It's funny.
Tell me.
Fluv.
Hey, Fluv.
Fluv maid.
Fluv maid. Oh, Fluv maid. Okay, anyways. Yeah, and then we're gonna have dark tree behind her. I'm considering what color we would want her to be. What do you think? Do you have any feelings?
Sorry, I'm still Frenching over here.
Okay.
Colors. Purple.
Okay, what?
So the full thing, I guess, if you're putting it together in a really weird way, would be mermaid, river is fluv, and then maid is femme de ménage, like lady
Nicki
that
Minaj?
cleans.
What?
So it'd be fluv femme de ménage.
Say that, but like what? Less hesitant.
Fluv femme de ménage. Fluv femme de ménage.
Okay, okay.
Fluv de... Fluv femme de... Bleh, bleh. I can't speak French. Have I proven this yet?
I believe you, if that means anything.
Femme de ménage.
Femme de ménage. Femme de ménage. Okay. I'm gonna try to use. It's really inconvenient to have it on this side of the page because like I want it next to this compositionally, but then it's like this is in the way. Just cut it off.
Yeah, exactly.
So what I'm gonna do. I have so many eraser things on here now. Oh golly. Yeah, get it. I'm using my watercolor pencil, which can technically kind of be erased. It's just water soluble. And I'm going to generally mark out where we want our water line first, because that's kind of the big compositional dividing line. So we're going to go... yeah, we'll give ample space for the tail. And then we really want to get the scale in here as soon as possible. So I'm going to try to... I'll underemphasize the rock size. And get some just general shapes that kind of show her. Who is she? Nobody knows. See, I already feel like my space for the tail is squished. It's fun. It's a fun
It's like
tail.
a roller coaster for your pencil.
Exactly. It wanted to go on a ride, okay? And once again, I'm thinking salamander-ish tail. Because it's a river, or sorry, a fleuve de bleu 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 bleu.
Hey, you said it just like I did.
Yes. That was no, sorry, I wasn't trying to speak French. I was trying to speak Anthony speaking French.
Nailed it.
Nailed it! And then we have some trees. Going up, 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 and away. Kind of want it to be asymmetrical, so our head's not right in the center of the tree area. So a little more tree over here, and then we can have them kind of receding back. Whoop, whoop. And then little implied hills back there. Whoop, whoop. And then probably a few more rocks and stuff implied back here as well. So that it feels a little bit more riverbanky. Like Banksy, but like riverbanky.
Ooh.
Sorry, fleubanky.
Fleur.
Fleur. Implied rock. Implied rock. Zoop, zoop, zoop. Achoo. I'm gonna sneeze.
Let's bless you in French.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Bless you in French.
It's really all about French today.
Soy béni.
Soy béni? Benvenito.
Yeah.
Excellent. Soy béni.
Be blessed.
She gonna have some
That's what it means.
boobies. And some hippies. Yeah, get that.
You say that in French.
Hips? The hips.
The hips. The hips. Full.
Full. Like Baymax speaking French. Wow, did I just say something like a Canadian or what was that? Because I was like Baymax.
That's French. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that's perfect. It's probably because you've been watching Sarah Zed video.
Ah, yes, very
I just watched that one you recommended about nerd culture.
Nerd culture. Yeah. Did you feel called out a little bit?
Loot Crate was something that I was subscribed to, so yes, but not as called out as like, I don't know. There's bits of nerd culture that I think that everybody's kind of dipped into.
Oh, of course.
Especially with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I feel like even if you didn't want to be a part of it, you're like, okay, well, I have to have a conversation about this with someone in my life.
I enjoy Marvel. I don't even think of that as like a...
No, I'm just saying it was so prolific that it just spanned a lot more people that probably wouldn't have considered themselves nerd culture.
Oh, totally.
But it's just like so enveloping.
Absolutely. I love her point that like it's insane that many people were into Game of Thrones at the same time. Like that's such a far stretch of like niche that everyone was into at the same time. It was kind of amazing.
HBO does do a lot of popular TV shows, I feel like.
It's true, yeah. That is not a rarity. But I do think that the what was I gonna say? Oh, I still remember when you showed me like this little featurette where it was like, oh yeah, we're building this entire fantasy environment, and it was all about Game of Thrones being created. It was before the show came out, and you were like, oh my gosh, look at, they're building the sets, and it's like all encompassing. Like it was truly a feat of fantasy where like, never before had it had quite that funding, except for like maybe Lord of the Rings, but this was a show.
I know, the most expensive show at the time, and now another fantasy one has that title with the Lord of the Rings show that's coming out in the fall, I think.
So Lord of the Rings is Lord of the Fantasy.
Yeah, Lord of the Things.
Lord of the Things! I love it. All right, I'm going to put a wash down, and I'm thinking for this one, for the Fox one, I did like a yellow wash, basically. Over the entire thing, and I'm going to be posting my process for this one on Patreon soon because I took pictures all the way throughout. So if you want the behind the scenes, that's coming for all tiers soon. But I'm going to, with this one, I think go for more of an orangey red to see if we can get some of that poking out in the end. So I'm just getting a big brush, wet, and then I'm going to dip it, dabble, and dodge it into some of my dirty paint up here. And this is exactly why I have this guy around, is to do some test swatches once I've gotten some color on the brush. And this is a wash, which means that it's going to be pretty watered down over the entirety of the background of the piece. So that's pretty red. I think I would water it down some more and add more orange. So I'm gonna go in. Do you trust me?
Oh yeah.
Gonna spray it with a little water.
Spritz.
Spritzen. Oh.
How much time do you have for the wash before it
dries?
Yeah.
It depends. I mean, I spritzed water on it beforehand. That makes it much less likely to dry before you can get rid of your initial brush mark. Personally, I really like when there's irregularities in saturation of the wash. So
like that initial stroke.
Yeah, exactly. And then I just dipped it into more paint, and I'm just gonna like do that. And you can always go through when it's still wet and just add strokes of more varied colors. So it's kind of like a soft light layer, how I do that in Photoshop, but like here in the traditional realm. But really, yeah, it's as much water as you put on the page, and also your water or your paper is going to react differently to...
What kind of paper are you on again? Did you say earlier?
I haven't actually said. This is a new watercolor palette or pad of paper. It's Arches. Let me get the pad out so you guys can see. And I'm just going to let this dry, so we might work on something else for a little bit while it does that. Oh, God. Okay, so...
Zelda.
This is the paper that I'm using. It's Arches watercolor, cold pressed, 140 pound. So there you go. 100% pure cotton. Ooh.
Is that also what you did the fox on?
Yes. So it's a a new one that I'm trying out. I love arches, and I have that massive piece of it that I'm going to do bigger pieces on, but I decided I wanted to try out smaller pieces to get comfortable before doing massive ones. This is honestly bigger than I've done in a long time.
Yeah, you're usually in the... Wait, what size did you say this was? You're usually in 4x6 or 5x7 territory.
Yeah, they're usually much smaller. This is probably pushing 5x7. I'd say a little bit longer. This one's probably like 8 to 9 tall, possibly. My gosh.
Wow. And you were already feeling like you were running out of room for the tail.
I know, it's kind of crazy, but it also matters what kind of subject matter you're doing, since this piece is about her crazy big tail. It is interesting because, like, if you make her head even slightly bigger, the entire proportions of all of this changes. So you have to really get in that, like, the scale of her in the piece.
Right. When you do go for the bigger sheet, what are you going to cut it down to?
I don't know. See, this is how bold I feel like being. And sometimes I have this stupid idea in my brain where I'm like, this is going to be the biggest piece of my life. It has to count and blah, blah, blah. But the whole point of doing any of this watercolor stuff is to get rid of those ideas. Like, you cannot be precious with it and hold on to every little possibility. So I don't know. I might end up, cutting it down to minuscule things and just doing a ton of them. Or I could do, I don't know, like one massive piece. I do think that it would be kind of freeing to do a massive piece, because then you don't have to, like, make the details, like I'm doing this tiny little carpet, but it's incredibly detailed. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you guys can see the little sketch underneath as much, but it's got detail in there. So with stuff like this, if this piece were 8x8 or something like that, it would feel a lot less like confining, and all of the details would sing a lot more. So in that way, I think it would be wonderful to have a large piece of paper.
Do you start with a wash on all your watercolors? Is that just typical for watercolors?
Typical.
Typical.
I think everybody has their own technique, and I like doing washes, but I'm not tied to it every single time. So sometimes.
I was going to ask, if you go to a bigger piece, are you going to be held back by the brushes you have for things like a wash?
Pretty big brushes. I think we have a few that are actually bigger than this. Mm-hmm. And even if there was a piece, I don't know. I guess I would probably feel most comfortable in gradually larger spaces. So if I'm doing this one now, maybe I get up to like twice this size and then 3 times or something like that.
Right.
And even with 3 times this size, I could see this size of brush being pretty comfortable for washes. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I think it's all experience. Once you use it, you're like, ooh, this is not the right size of brush. Gotta go to the art store real quick. Are you looking to give me another brush?
I was just curious because the sheet of paper is huge, and the technique for laying down the wash even on this one is like you had to keep going back, and sections are going to dry before other sections do, and I don't know if that would affect like the overall look of the wash if you had to do it in quadrants, if it would have like an edge or feel less seamless or something.
There's also the question of stretching the paper. This is like why I have this tape all around the edge, is to hold the paper down while it's wet, because it will warp very easily. Like you can see there's warping happening right now while it's wet. But if you have it taped down, eventually it will flatten back out. And I even usually, when it's like almost dry, I put stuff over it to weigh it down so that it really, really flattens out. That's what I did with this guy, and he's not really warped, but he's still got a little warble. He's not completely flat. The one time I got really, really flat stuff was when they were almost completely dry. I would put my pieces with a paper towel over them and then the heaviest book I could. I crushed them, and they flattened out like a pancake. It was awesome. But what I was saying about stretching the paper is that would be a really good opportunity if you have the paper completely soaking wet. Like some people actually submerge the paper in water so that it's completely wet. then that would be a really good opportunity to put a wash on because it would not dry out for quite a while. It's like kind of a self-wetting surface at that point. So, yeah, I could do that with the big piece, potentially. It makes me nervous, but I could do it.
Yeah, that could be cool. Try out new things.
Oh, I will. I always will. And you're going to watercolor paint with me one of these days, right?
Mm-hmm. And also crochet.
Crochet. We are very French. No, we're not French at all. But
I think we've proven that already.
You don't know. My accent could be on point.
I mean, you can, based off of what I was reading earlier. No.
Déclassé. Oui, oui. But yeah, I think that we should do all the activities. That would be really fun. All of them. I'm kind of feeling doing green ones on the outside and then the center ones maybe like a darker orange or something. Sorry, this is probably really tiny work that you guys can't really see, but I'll show you when I'm all donezies.
How long does it usually take a watercolor piece to dry for
this guy?
wash? Yeah.
It's variable. It really depends on how much water you put on. I'd say this guy is like another 5 minutes at least. But honestly, Anthony, I don't ever time it. Just come back to it when I do.
That makes sense if you're just doing it for fun and don't need to time it.
Yeah, see? Alright, this one's... It's almost dry, so what I'm going to do is put the pad on top of it just to...
You put a little speck on it.
What?
You drop something on it.
There you go.
Thanks.
Just for you. I'm pushing it down.
Put that art history book on it. Is that one of the heavier books you have?
Oh my gosh, it's massive. It's so big. That was the one. I think that and the like animation one that we have.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, I'm burping. Are the two that I used to weigh stuff down, and man, it was good. Man, I'm good. Break it down, Monsieur Hood. Man, everything's French today. I didn't even know. Okay. Ah, one more. Sorry, it evaded my capture until this very moment. And then we will move on to the orange. And it'll get really frisky. How do you feel about cats and catnip?
I don't know if there's anything wrong with it, so I feel like it's fun to watch and they have a good time. Just try not to overstimulate them because I feel like it could get very dangerous for your hands.
For your hands, huh? So it's all about you.
Well, the collective, your.
No, as in, like, I wonder about the cats. Like, if they could, I don't know, hurt themselves in any way. If they're too hyped.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. Jumping up on things too fast or not timing things correctly or turning a corner and hitting a wall.
Oh, babies.
I think I've seen all of these things happen, especially with Cecil.
Yeah.
Sometimes he gets like really, what is it, zoomy?
Yeah.
And he just like licks his back really fast and then like gets low to the ground and like looks around and then zooms out of the room and like flies upstairs and like, ugh.
So
funny.
Cute.
Ibrahim's in the chat and Alessandra's back from dinner.
Hello, welcome. How is everyone? You having a good day? Ooh.
But why do you ask about catnip? Did you?
Oh, we watched
see
a
or hear
video.
something?
Yeah, it was just that some cats have response to it and then others don't. It was basically this person on YouTube just being like, I presented a dish of catnip, like copious amounts of it in a dish, to every one of my cats, and some of them were just rubbing their faces all over it, getting it like up in their fur everywhere, and very, very into it. And then the others were just like, meh, like, what is this in front of me? I don't understand. And so, yeah, she looked it up, and apparently there's a gene where some respond to it and some don't. We always had cats that responded to it. We grew catnip, my parents did, and so sometimes we just find some of the cats just like laying in there. Just lazing about, having a good old time. And so I always thought like, oh, every cat loves catnip. And I was like, James, that could be our cat. And then he was like, I don't know if I want to give them too much catnip. It's kind of like a drug, isn't it? And he's very against drugs. So he's like, not my thing. Don't want to get my cat like hooked on something. And I was like, I don't think that they get addicted. Like, I've never seen a cat be like, I need the catnip. It's more like a treat in my mind. But I'm curious because I've never heard that take before.
I mean, it just seems like that. It's a shrubby green substance that alters their behavior. So I could see where he's coming from, but I don't think it's addictive. None of the cats have been like, Anthony, come on. Oh, just give me a little bit more catnip. Come on, I can't live without it.
But if they could talk, would they? They'd probably be like,
They'd probably be like, hey,
like
what was that? And then get distracted by something else.
Yeah. I think that food is much more of an addictive substance for them, but that's because they might always feel hungry. Wouldn't that be sad if like we bred in the trait of always feeling hungry to like domesticated animals or something? Because it seems like they always want food.
That would be sad.
Boop. There you go. Another sad thought.
They feel so many different things, though.
What was I gonna say?
They seem content most of the time, honestly.
Oh yeah, I agree, and I want them to be that way. Please, please, thank you, thank you. Another thing I learned recently that is fascinating. Do you know what iodized salt is?
It keeps you from getting goiters.
Oh my gosh, you do know! What the heck? I never knew this. So, iodized salt is... Wait, did I already tell you about it? Is that why you know, or did you just know independently?
I knew independently.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. How did you know?
I don't know. I don't remember where I learned it. It might have been like a health class, or I might have researched it because I saw on just table salt it says iodized for your health or something like that, and I might have looked up why.
Yeah. So iodized
it's a common
salt,
ingredient in table salt, or it was for a long time.
Yeah, it's got iodine in it, minuscule amounts, because apparently the population at large was deprived of iodine. Like they didn't have enough of it in their bodies, and so there was this solution that helped so many people, like through their diets, just get a small amount of iodine. Which, yes, it was for a lot of different health things. It actually improves, but one of them is thyroid. What do you call it? Imbalance, I suppose. And goiters are when there's an imbalance and your neck inflates, basically. Isn't that crazy?
It is, yeah. Bonkers.
So...
I sometimes worry about that. Like, do I need to get salt with iodine in it? I don't feel like my neck is swelling.
I don't feel my neck swelling actively, but... well, yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, I never even knew about this. And somebody was saying this online because they were like... I was reading an article, I think something like Bon Appetit or some place like that that has recipes, and they were like, yeah, we use non-iodized salt because it tastes weird, like iodized salt does. And then somebody was like, what? Like, first of all, no, it doesn't taste weird at all. But then second of all, it is something that was actually used for like public health, which is crazy. I never knew.
Did the video go on to explain like this isn't as common now because A, B, and C?
Nope. This wasn't a video. This was just a post online, but also they never said that it like went out of style or whatever, you know, like that it shouldn't be used. Like, no, it probably still should. But I think it's kind of like fluoride in the water. Like some places have it and some places don't. That doesn't mean it's like better or worse.
Right. It's just the salt that I typically use is
Kosher.
sea salt, and I don't think, kosher, sea salt. What's the other one? Is kosher the big flaky one? Pink Himalayan. We do have some of that. What am I thinking of? I don't remember.
Table?
No, I think regular table salt would probably just have the iodized
I'm just
thingy.
listing off kinds that I know.
Maybe it is kosher. Is that the flaky kind? Do you know?
No, that's just like flaky salt. That's like fancy stuff.
Okay, maybe it's just coarse kosher or something like that.
Sure.
But anyways, I don't think any of the ones that I typically use are iodized.
Same, yeah. And I wonder if we should. Because, like,
Or how much do you need to really negate those effects?
I don't know. It's weird. I've seen so many things recently on, like, even, I know this is like an extreme thing compared to, like, oh, it's just like, mild health effects that it can have to the positive. But I've seen a lot of stuff on radiation, and apparently it can help with that as well. Apparently bananas are low-key radioactive. Ain't that crazy?
Yeah, you were telling me that the other day.
Yeah, it's just little things like that I would never expect. Not to the point that they can hurt you, though. That's a thing. Alright, I think our mermaid piece is probably dry by now, so we can hop back to that in a sec. Sorry, this one's so small. I need to, like, figure out how to zoom in or something. Beep, beep. It's cute, though. Promise you. Especially in person. I think traditional work always sings so much more in person. Alright, so it's almost completely dry. It's still a little bit wet, but that's fine. Okay.
It says most Americans have no trouble getting the amounts that you need from food.
Oh, of iodine?
Yeah.
I wonder if that would affect me being a vegetarian. Like if they're found in meats more than anything. That's usually how it goes for nutrient things, but I don't know.
This article on WebMD has a list of foods with iodine, and it says seaweed can be a great source, though the amount per serving varies depending on the type you eat. Iodine is also in eggs, dairy products like milk, yogurt, and cheese, and seafood like shrimp, tuna, and cod. When you see foods labeled iodized, like salt, it means they have iodine added. You should be able to get enough from iodized salt, but keep in mind that the salt added to processed foods like chips or canned soup often has 0 iodine. But it sounds like if you're eating a well-rounded diet with like eggs, dairy products, like cheese and yogurt,
So
or
vegans are out of luck.
seafoods, yeah, well, for the like whole foods that you could eat with it in it, but it sounds like the salt with iodine in it, or there's probably like iodine in supplements, right? Oh, this next thing listed. Many multivitamins and seaweed supplements have iodine, but most Americans don't need any extra unless they're breastfeeding or pregnant. Adults shouldn't take more than blah, 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 blah. Anyway, yeah, it sounds like some supplements have it in there, so.
Interesting.
If you're eating a variety of foods, non-vegan, sounds like you're probably getting enough to not have it supplemented. And if you're taking multivitamins, it's most likely in that too. But Bliss in the chat says most people don't need to have iodized salt. We aren't in a goiter crisis. Yeah, that's true. I don't see many people. Well, I don't see many people in general right now. Maybe we are in a goiter crisis and we just don't know.
It's overwhelming. Too many goiters. I wonder, because I don't really take in that much dairy other than ice cream, honestly. That's like my big dairy thing.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah. Eggs? I mean, eggs somewhat. I think James has to pressure me into eggs. Like, we have breakfast burritos that we make sometimes, and that's where the majority of my eggs come from. But I don't just, like, eat eggs, personally. I don't really like them that much. Yeah. I like them in things, like a nice egg custard dumpling. My gosh, that is the best thing. But yeah, just eating straight up eggs. Like James boiled something like 10 eggs the other week and ate them over the course of a few days, and I was like, I could never.
He has enough iodine.
Yes, he's pumping through.
Bliss says if you eat eggs, even one a day, it's like a vitamin. It's like a vitamin.
That's good.
And yes, Alessandra, in general, iodized salt is good for you, or it's not bad for you, rather.
Absolutely, yeah. I don't think there's like an excess of iodine, as far as I've heard.
Bliss goes on to say the yolk is loaded with nutrients. True.
Yolky. Well, does it count that my ice cream has 5 yolks in it?
I'm not sure. Maybe. I don't know what the cold temperature and the processing does to the yolk, But
Makes it more
just to grab onto what you said a second ago, this article also says what happens with too much iodine. And it says high levels can inflame your thyroid gland and cause some of the same symptoms that low levels do, including a goiter.
Fun. So either too much, too little, goiter town.
Yeah. Everything in moderation, right?
Suppose so. Yeah, that's always a good takeaway. And
I'd say by and large, like Bliss was saying, we're not in a goiter crisis. You'd probably be feeling some of the symptoms if you were low in whatever trace mineral you needed.
And this isn't like a PSA to go get iodized salt. It's much more like did you know the history of it? Because I had no idea, and I thought it was fascinating.
It is fascinating.
It's pretty crazy sometimes. Like, I don't know the history of fluoride either. How hard that was to like get into the public consciousness as like, yes, this is a thing we're doing.
It's still a lot of controversy around it, I suppose. It's 4:00. Did we want to do something like monkey paws?
Yeah. Ooh, ah. All right, one sec. I'm gonna just dot around some color while this is still wet because I like to do that. Boop, 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 boop. And this is probably all going to be painted over eventually. I do a lot of layers when painting. I hope maybe in the future I can get past that because I do think sometimes it's more of a hindrance than a help. But at this moment, I'm just playing with what I got, you know? I have a hair in there. Get out. There we go. But anyways, what I was saying is with the fox piece that took so many different layers, and sometimes it just looks like absolute nonsense, like, ooh, it's not a pretty piece. So if you're ever finding yourself at that place and you're like, ew, it doesn't look like the thing I had in my mind as the finished part, then like just wait for it. Wait
for it in what way do you mean?
As
like after it dries layers. It looks like like, keep adding layers.
Yeah, like don't be afraid to like, you know, because sometimes halfway through a piece it just doesn't look good, and so you just have to keep going and trust the process. All right,
how many layers did the fox one have?
I could go through my pictures on my phone and tell you, but I'm gonna lay it all out.
Just like a Patreon. Estimate. 10
5
20
million. Let's see. Yeah, I'd say around 10 or 12. I mean, I don't know. If you're really like just cutting it down to, I did a base layer and then this or whatever. Like, I didn't do it that cleanly. It was more like I flowed with it and painted what I felt like. Then, yeah, I don't know, like 5 to 10.
Yeah. Well, you said that it was a lot, so I was just curious what that threshold would be.
Gotcha.
Monkey paws time, huh?
So, monkey paws is a hand stretch that we usually do on camera, but today, since we are doing the top-down view, I'm just going to show you with my top-down hands. So the first step we do of this hand stretch is we put our arms straight out in front of ourselves with our fingers to the sky, palms away from us. Then we curl our fingers into what we call a monkey paw. Ooh, ooh, ah.
Ooh, ah, over here, baby.
Great job.
I'm doing it. You can't tell.
Second pose, we put our fingers to the ground, palms towards ourselves, and curl them in. Ooh, ah.
Ooh, ah, ah.
I can tell if your joints are popping. I don't hear anything yet.
I did this beforehand with my neck too, so all the popping should be ironed out.
Third pose, we put our fingers down, palms away from us, and then curl them in. Ooh, ah.
Okay, one of my fingers popped. I'm doing it to the sides of me, not in front of me.
Yeah,
that's why you can't hear it as much in the mic.
And then fourth pose, we put our fingers to the sky and palms towards ourselves, and then curl them in. Ooh, ah, ah.
Ooh, ah, ah.
Great job. Now we repeat these poses holding for a few seconds each so that we have a nice stretch happening in our wrists and our tendons. And this is to prevent any carpal tunnel or arthritis, hopefully, so that we can take care of our hands because we do so much with them and we want to keep them good. Also a good reminder to just like close your eyes if you're looking at screens a lot, or give yourself a break by drinking some water, stretching out your neck maybe.
Yeah, standing up if you've been sitting at your computer for a long time.
Definitely. And especially whenever I'm hunching over pieces like traditional art, I have this on a flat surface, which is not ideal. I definitely have to get up and walk around every once in a while because it hurts.
Do you want to do that?
Here, I'll stand up right now. I'll just hunch over the mic.
You'll show me. Well, no, don't hunch. That's the whole point of standing up.
Oh, yes, I'm standing up straight. So straight. Wow. Ugh. I always yawn when I do this too. Take a nice break. Take a break. I'm also stretching my neck as I do it.
Nice multitasking.
Yeah, put your ear as high as you can on each side and flop over from side to side. And then look as far as you can comfortably look to the side and then to the other side. Good job, everybody.
Nice work.
You're doing it. You're doing it, Peter. Sorry, I'm still doing my hand stretches. You can see.
Me too.
Yeah, you're doing great.
It does feel like an exercise for sure.
I also like to sometimes stretch the thumb a little bit.
A little bit. It looks like you're about to touch your arm with it.
I can definitely not touch my arm. That one's a little closer.
Freak.
Hey! Flexibility's cool, man.
It is. I'm actually pretty flexible. Not in my fingers per se, but I could reach well past my foot. when I'm doing
Wow.
that
Get
that
it.
leg stretch. Gary was over the other night and we were stretching before bed and he like couldn't get to his foot and I was reaching over towards his from my side of the bed.
You're like, I can get all the way over there.
He's like, how are you that flexible? And I was like, I stretch every single night.
I love
Every single night. For years.
Never skip it. I love it. No, that's the way you do it.
It just helps me sleep better.
Oh my
body's
gosh,
a lot
yeah.
more relaxed. Good job stretching, everybody.
Great job. Whoop whoop. I'm gonna put a deeper color down here. Just because this is way too light for what I'm planning. And again, eventually we're gonna paint over all of this to make it much more like the body and everything will be painted in, so it's gonna be more like unified.
What color did you say you were doing for the body?
I don't have that decided yet. So you said purple.
I did. I said purple and yellow just to break out some colors I don't see from you very often, but
Yeah, thanks for that.
you went a different route.
Yes. Literally the entire piece is like, greens and blues and river and yes. Oh, that's so silly.
I think I said purple and yellow before we landed on river, or before I realized it was river.
Gotcha. Well, we'll have to do a Mardi Gras piece for you, obviously.
But not that you couldn't have a purple and yellow river type environment. That could be like a sunsetty thing.
I mean, any color could be anywhere, but it scares me.
Exactly. Don't be scared of purples and
I'm
yellows. I'm looking at some of
scared.
your pieces actually now that I've got hung up on my artboard, and the one where it's a lady writing a note. It was for Adobe Max, I think.
Yeah, that's purple and yellow.
That's purple and yellow, and the Harry Potter cover that you did with Fluffy going around the corner and the kids under the invisibility cloak. That's very purple and yellow.
True. Well, yeah, I guess that's like my nighttime palette that I'm comfortable with.
Oh, if this was 4 hours later, you'd be purple and yellow territory.
It's
Or
true,
you just mean like
yeah.
this scene has to be nighttime for it to
I
read
mean,
as
just
pur-
mentally, I think of it as my nighttime palette, I guess. But
Yeah.
literally any color could be any time. It's just what makes me feel. The colors make me feel, I guess.
There's also a traditional piece you did of a luck dragon
Yeah. That was a long
for
time
my
ago.
birthday. Is that right? I think it has a message written on the back, but
It was for something.
that's also purple and yellow.
Nice.
I guess you're not very shy of purple and yellow. You don't know what you're talking about.
I guess I have more, what do you call it? Like, I'm averse to certain color combos, not necessarily like colors. Like purple and yellow go together to me, but that is like purple and green I don't know that I've ever done, you know?
That's the cover of the 6th Harry Potter book. That's what I always think of.
That's true.
But yeah, I felt like it was an interesting choice when that first came out. I mean, it's mainly green with purple lettering. Not that the purple's part of the illustration in any way.
That's true. They also did it like a foil kind of thing, right? So
Yeah, it's shiny.
shiny. But the color combo itself, like just thinking about that, like, oh, here's a challenge, do purple and green together. To me, I don't know, for some reason it raises my hackles. I'm like, no, I can't do it.
There's actually a piece on my artboard that you made that's purple and green.
What is it? Tell
It's
me.
it's a one-off. You did it to appease me at a Lightbox session, and
Appease you. Because
yeah.
you said, I've never seen you do purple and green together.
No, it was I wanted you to draw Oddish, and you drew 3 of them
Okay. Yeah.
sleeping on a little patch of grass, and they've got like sleep powder above them. It's very cute.
It
It's
is
more of
very
a,
cute.
I suppose, spot illustration one.
True. Yeah.
Maybe that's why you're not thinking about it. Well, you printed it through Moo. How many copies did you get of it?
Probably
20?
like 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wonderful thing about Moo, wonderful thing about Tiggers is that you can do one side that's all of your prints have that one side, and then the other side has any different kinds of artwork on it. So like you could have 12 different prints through, like you're ordering 50 of them, but they're 12 different images. So that's exactly how I do my postcards. So sometimes with that, like if I'm ordering 50 but I have 10 different designs, that means I'll get 5 postcards of each design. So not always a ton of them. So the Oddish one was a very small run.
Yeah. Because it was for me.
For you, darling.
Like I can't just order one type of situation.
Exactly. Okay, so thinking about her color, do I want her to stand out or blend in? That's the question. I almost want her... I have feelings. Okay, so I almost want her to be darker than the rest, like almost like a black mermaid, like a black salamander or something would be so cool. But also, there's the opposite, where it's like opalescent, where she's got like light colors of different types all throughout. And then underwater
Maybe you could...
it would be like bluified.
Yeah.
Maybe
I would say maybe you could do opalescent and then maybe have some patterny stuff that's darker if you want to make it darker.
Anthony, every time I have like ideas, you're always, how can we mix them?
Take it to 11.
How can we do everything all at once?
I really want to see that movie so badly.
Oh my gosh, I do too. Everything
I
everywhere.
wanted to start streaming. Also, we've got Hassan saying hello in the chat, and
Hey,
Alessandra
Hassan.
saying that it's finally starting to heat up over where she's at. 75 to 80-degree weather.
Whoa, that's some hotness. That's awesome.
Bliss has seen Everything Everywhere All at Once and says it was a good movie.
I so badly want to see that.
I'm willing to see it again.
Okay, well, let's go watch it. Come on. All of us, we're going to the theater now. What do I do? Sorry, I just need to take time to contemplate colors. The risk of going darker is that I'd lose some details, possibly.
Or you couldn't you start lighter and go darker if you wanted something else?
Start lighter and go darker. Potentially. I mean,
so maybe just start with the opalescent, and if you're like, and then just layer on top of it until you're satisfied. Keep going. A wise artist once told me 10 minutes ago.
You think you're so clever. Where's my other brush? All right, I'm gonna do a very light blue. Let's see how I feel about it. So light you can't even see it. Wow. I'm going into uncharted territory a little bit. Like, I'm not exactly sure how I want this rendering to turn out. So
is this mermaid about to crawl onto the forest floor.
Hello. I came from the deep.
I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick and then come right back.
Okay.
That tea that I had is going right through me.
I'm sorry.
I'll be back.
Enjoy yourself, Earl Grey.
Uh, all right. See you in a second.
Okay. Then I get to talk about Anthony while he's gone, clearly. So Anthony is the best, and Anthony, Corinne, and I are planning a trip soon to go see Corinne because she graduated from college, and that is very, very exciting. So we are trying to get together the plans for that, and I can't wait. It's also Anthony's birthday is coming up in less than a month. He's June 11th, so if anybody wants to say something really nice to him on that day, feel free. James's birthday is also coming up, so I need to get stuff for both my boys. I'm just kind of blotting around this blue. I wonder how well you can see it. You can somewhat see it. Okay, good. I kind of feel like having these colors meld together in different ways will be really fun. And again, I guess Anthony was right. If I feel like it's not what I want it to be, then I can just paint over it. And I should never be too precious with these things. Just like you guys. Never be too precious. It's unnecessary. Alright, so we've got some blue. What about a little bit of... I mean, I love the pink coming in from the background. That's really cool. But I want some yellows too. But like pure yellows, not greeny yellows. Yeah. Yeah. See that? See? Yellow.
Okay, I'm back.
Hello. Welcome back, sir. We're just going to add some yellows to this now. Hopefully it works out well.
What's the name of the yellow?
I think it was Azo yellow.
Azo.
AZO. Maybe Azo.
Azo
I don't know.
above. What is that?
As
above,
below.
so below. As so below. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Brilliant. Thanks for being back. But
it's
yeah.
kind of hard to make it flow because Azo is both of the title. Azo above, as so below.
As above. Asimov. Wait, who's Asimov?
Isaac Asimov, an author of famous things.
Of famous things. Yeah, that one.
American writer, 1920 to 1992, professionally, or a professor of biochemistry at Boston University. Asimov was considered one of the big three science fiction writers, along with Robert A. Heinlein and Arthur C. Clarke.
Wow.
Let's see what his top books were, because I can't think of what they were. What? The Naked Sun.
Oh. No clothing on that, but that sun.
What? Science fiction stuff. Give me a list of books, article.
Atomic Habits. Kyoshi books. These are the
iRobot.
Oh, that was the thing. Yeah,
That's one that I remember. Oh, Ray in the chat saying The Foundation stories. I think they just recently made that into a show, didn't they? The Foundation?
I swear that's
Or am I
what you
thinking of
told
something
me.
else? Let me see. The Foundation TV series.
The cracks in our foundations.
Yeah, last year. First episode, September 24th, 2021. Ashley's birthday.
Get it. That's so funny. We were just talking about your birthday.
It's birthday time, baby.
It's
Lee Pace
birthday
is in it.
time.
I love Lee Pace.
Pace. We love Lee Pace, of course. The Fall. Come on.
How did you like it, Ray? Was it pretty good? Oh yeah, Ray says there's an Apple series very loosely based on his Foundation trilogy. If I recall correctly, I heard that the Foundation, that they wanted to make it into something, but they felt like they couldn't do it justice, and Apple picked it up and made it, but they still were like, yeah, this is hard to adapt from the book because I think it spans thousands of years or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Ray says that they enjoyed the books better.
I understand.
Me too. That's usually how it goes.
Yeah, book adaptations are just difficult all around, but
Except Jurassic Park. Honestly, that was like, this was really well adapted. I go back and watch Jurassic Park more than I go back and read the book.
Oh, definitely. But I think that that's like 1 in a million. And also
Yeah,
we were
rare.
connected to the movie before the books. Which it's always kind of hard for like a movie to meet with the audience of a book and be like, yeah, you like this, right?
True. The book also just had a very different feel while reading it. It felt
sure.
very more like scientific, and you were like, I don't know.
Kind of like The Martian, maybe, where it's like, here are attributes of things, and then the movie was just like, ba-na-na-na-na.
Yeah. Ray confirmed, yeah, the books spanned generations, thousands of years. And then goes on to say he had some very interesting theories around social engineering and mathematics.
Oh.
Ooh, maybe James would like the TV series or the book series, I suppose.
Oh. Is he into social engineering? I don't even know what that really means.
All I know, he is good at math / likes it.
Is good at / likes? Maybe.
I don't know. I know he's good at it, but
yeah,
does that equate to him liking it?
No, I think he likes it more than like we do, because we're bad at it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think that necessarily makes him like, ooh, it's about math. Oh, I can't wait.
Right. Maybe not to that extent, but maybe he'd be like, oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I'll read about that. That's perks my interest. Not like, oh, that's so cool. I'm going to get a picture of numbers and put it on my wall. Is that what math people do? Oh, Bliss has to head out. Bye, Bliss. Thanks for joining.
Bliss. Oh, that's exactly what we think math people do. Oh my gosh,
numbers.
I need a poster of numbers right now. Oh, what a stereotype. I'm leaving little gaps so I can maybe put some like mossy bits in there. I mean, I could make dark mossy bits as well, but just you know.
I do.
I do. Whoa. Like a chunk of paint just drifted onto my brush, and so it was like pigment. Holy heckers. I mean, I love pigment, don't get me wrong, but that was a bit much. It's so funny to see it on the screen. It's almost like I can see it from a completely different angle thanks to you guys, so thanks. The outside perspective is nice.
In what way? Like orientation or color?
Both. I can just look up at the screen and see it a little bit more flat on than like how I see it, because I'm looking at it from an angle of like, I don't know, a person looking at a flat surface.
I see. For me, I see it upside down and right side up. Because OBS Ninja has it upside down, and then Behance has it right side up.
And which looks better? Hello? I need to know. This is important. It's a study. I'm doing it.
Well, that's an interesting question. I feel like I've looked at the one that's upside down most because it's live for me.
Interesting.
But I don't know. They look good. Well balanced, I suppose, if it's this hard for me to tell.
I guess so. Says something about it. Don't it?
Yeah. I got totally invested in our character voices. Is that what I sound like? It's the filter on the mic.
Yeah.
I actually sound very nice in real
life. Oh my gosh, that's oh, it's good. It's good. Okay, so we've got some stuff going on. I'm not sold yet on the opalescence. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, not enough distinction from the water, I feel like.
Oh yeah, the water is gonna be like a whole overlapping color. But
Yeah,
you're saying like
I'm not digging the opalescence.
not digging it. Okay. Well. Trying to think of how we can work in the fin as well, because I had this idea that the fin would be like this long transparent kind of going down the side overlapping thing. But now
Ray just tiggered us.
Oh, who's tiggering? What? TTFN,
I feel tiggered.
ta-ta for now. I love it. See you, Ray.
I'm tiggered.
You gotta stop. No.
Bye, Ray. Thanks for joining in.
Yeah, sorry for
Thanks
Anthony.
for the yeah, sorry about me, but thanks for the info on Isaac.
Isaac Asimov. The bloke. He's no joke. Is that a thing? I don't know. Also torn on hair color with this opalescent kind of quality. What kind of hair should we go for?
That's a good question. Opalescent quality reminds me of seashells, and you find opalescent in mother of pearl oysters. Is that right? Like the interior of the shell?
I suppose so.
Is there any other quality of that shell that would work well in the hair?
I have no idea.
Me either. Pink hair?
Just like a dark pink? Or like, I don't know. It's hard to get like a good pink with these colors, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But I can try.
No, maybe not pink.
Oh,
Take it back.
takes it all back. No take backs.
Boop, 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 Anybody in chat have some ideas for what good hair colors might go well with this?
I guess maybe something to match or maybe contrast or match the fin, because if we have the fin be a certain color and then the ear fins could be that same kind of color-ish, but like with the green background mixed in rather than this kind of like, I don't know, faded green, dark gray thing. So the hair could either be similar or different than that. Who knows?
And we haven't decided on the fin color yet?
No. I would think like a blue, personally, but I'm just the artist who
Yeah.
Too much white. Okay, well, sure. Sorry, I just blotted everything. It's fine. Faces are so delicate until I get to them. I'm just gonna do like a little eyebrow.
Rin's back. Hi, Rin.
Hi, Rin. How was your meeting? You have fun? I don't know. I'm like doubting myself. It's okay. This is every single piece I go through this.
Do you want to do a study on a piece of paper?
Nah.
Okay. Meeting went well. It was
good.
the painting department chair, and she was lovely.
Oh, good. Okay, people better be nice or else. You give me their number and I'll talk to them.
You are mean to Rin. Get out of here.
Is the nose a little bit animalistic?
Yeah.
I love it.
No, it's just like a little shadow under a nose or whatever, but it doesn't. I am just trying to block out where the facial features will be. It's not necessarily married to them.
Right. I kind of like it being a cat nose-esque.
So, okay, let me look at it up on the screen. I think we need to like block in some of the rocks as well. That could be a nice little in-betweeny. so that we can rest our eyes. Don't look at her, just look at the rocks. Easy peasy, right?
Oh yeah. She fades away.
And we're kind of using the gouache a little bit like watercolor right now, just because it's so, like, it's fresh paper, it sinks in really easily, a lot of pigment goes a long way. But as we paint over things, we can make it a little bit more opaque on our brush and go in there and, like, have more control. Because gouache really affords that very easily.
Rin said the meeting was good, and just summarizing, they're waffling between painting and illustration majors, and
They decide your major?
Ren's waffling between
gotcha.
painting and illustration, but also goes on to say, though that's the purpose of the school, is to explore both and discover which path fits better as I go.
Heck yeah. Love that. I want you to be able to fully explore whatever the heck you want. Excuse me. For those of you who don't know, PNCA is a school in Portland that is a fine arts school, and we had several friends go there for at least a semester. I briefly taught there as an adjunct professor, so not in the school, but like an independent study kind of person. And it seems to be a good place. And Rin is planning on going there, so I'm very excited for her. I don't know if I like that.
Just choose both. Anna does both. Everyone can do both, right?
Absolutely. I honestly think, yeah, like, I wonder what they would teach in painting. I know that my education was much more geared toward illustration, even though I was concept art. That was my major. I just did a big splash of water right here. We'll see what
Yeah, I
happens
saw.
you know, embrace the accidents, right? But the idea of like being a painting major, I think that your career path after that is showing in galleries. I am not positive because again, I've never gone through it, but to me that seems like a very different lifestyle than illustration offers. So it really comes down to, I guess, lifestyle, and also I wouldn't put too much pressure on it because, yeah, there's plenty of time to feel it out as you go. Not that you're asking for advice, sorry, Ren. Just hopped in there and said my piece. Okay, so we've got some implication of some rockage. I think we need a little bit right here, too.
Rin says, I definitely want to learn anything and everything.
All the things.
Sculpting.
I think they do have, like, some kind of what would be considered fringe art techniques that are taught at that school. So it's a good opportunity to learn everything and anything. All the time, everything all at once. More rocks. More! And we might also use a white pen to make this line like really crisp as if we're looking through it.
Is it the gel pen that Rin got yet?
Indeed.
Did you run out of that ink that you were using before? Or you still
I got
have
some
them?
more. But yeah, I ran out of the original. But I
Ibrahim
like
has
having
to head
options.
out.
See ya,
Nice to
Ibrahim.
see
Have
you
a great
too.
night,
Bye.
day, and enjoy yourself. Thank you so much for being part of the stream. The stream.
The dream stream.
The dream stream. Exactly. That's what we would call it if we got all the streamers together. How fun would that be? It's a gigantic
All the
grouping.
streamers.
All
Oh,
the
yeah.
lonely streamers.
Like those 100-person Zoom chats.
Oh my gosh. I was thinking all the Behance streamers. At least the ones we know, maybe. I don't know.
Oh yeah, were you gonna talk with Wade about having a joint stream sometime soon?
You know, I always say like yes, but I honestly have had no time to think about anything lately, so I haven't actively.
But now
been
you
planning
do.
it.
Right?
Kind of.
'Cause the
You know
book's
my
over?
life. It's not necessarily open
Cohesive.
completely. Like my timing isn't completely open right now, but yeah, in general, yes, I would like to do that. Just message Wade and be like, you do it. Wow, I didn't even notice. Check this out. This watercolor almost like blasted into this area. Do you see that?
Blasted. Yeah.
Blasted, baby.
Is that just because it was
crazy.
wet there?
It was wet on both of these, so it's interesting how like the more water I guess was in here, so it kind of took over this area. But yeah, initially they were both like separately colored, and then I just like closed the gap, and then the water just wandered, which is pretty
Wandering
cool. It gives it a lot of
water.
texture.
Yeah. We have about 25 minutes left in today's stream.
We could get somewhere meaningful with that. At least I think. I don't know.
Do you ever, well, have to wait for it to dry during this step, or do you just paint different sections now that the wash is done?
Yeah, usually I go with different sections, but again, like, it just depends sometimes of like what you come up against. If I need to wait, I will. But for the most part, like when we put in the rocks and things like that, I was kind of waiting for her to dry, and now she's dry, and now I'm like going on to the background and stuff like that. So it really just is whatever catches your fancy, and if that's dry at the moment that you want to work on it.
Alessandra says, no, stop counting the time, Anthony. You make it go faster when you do that. I gotta keep Anna on track, or else it will go over.
Oh
I've
my
got
gosh, you guys, I would
dinner
just
and
sit
movie
here.
plans tonight.
Ooh, what are you gonna do? Watch, eat.
Ashley, Sammy, and I are gonna have dinner and a movie. I think we're doing
Cute.
like a potato and leek soup, and I forgot the title of the movie, but it's about post-apocalyptic monsters take over the world, but it's like a comedy type of thing. Came out a couple years ago. I'll ask what the movie title is again.
Excellent. I'm so glad. That sounds heckin' cute.
What's the movie called again?
What's my age again? What's my age again?
It's a movie, theatrical length. I sent the text, and the message should be replied to within the minute.
You are very organic with how you speak and communicate.
Much thank is given unto you.
And also to you? I don't even know. I feel like I want her chin to dip down a little bit more. I'm wondering if I could get it opaque enough to read as a chin dipping down. Chin dipping. Let's get a bunch of white on our brush and see how we do. Because notoriously, the squash white is not super opaque.
It's called Love and Monsters.
Love and Monsters. Oh my gosh, it's still wet. Alright, so this is a case of still wet. Case of still wetness, if you didn't catch my drift.
What are you going to do in the meantime?
In the meantime.
Or do you have to correct it? Oh, you're blotting it?
I'm blotting it, baby. Well, I was blotting this just to make sure that my white didn't become some weird thing happening. I think I will work on maybe this wash of blue down here. Making this read as underwater, I think would be a good move. And I think that
Jake's in the chat. Hey, Jake.
Oh, hey, Jake, what's up? How you doing? We're going cameraless today, and we're painting a mermaid.
Well, kind of. Faceless.
Faceless.
There's still a camera happening.
There's no face here. Don't look at her. Don't look at her. I swear, Jake.
Well,
I swear.
is it a cat nose? You'll
Oh,
never
wait.
know.
Visual joke.
Visual joke.
Faceless. Eh.
Each of these take about 2 minutes to complete. We timed earlier on the stream.
Then we did a little sketch of this lady. Oh wait.
Ugh. No, it really just wants to show the. Oh, there we go. Seamless. It's perfect.
I
It's
still feel like
happening.
this sketch is so much more elegant than this one, but that's okay.
You always lose some of the energy from sketch to final piece.
It's always
No
frustrating.
matter
but
what you do,
no
you
matter
just
what
scrap
you
the
do.
watercolor. Just call the sketch the finest piece.
I
Final
mean,
piece.
honestly, I love people's sketches so much. Sometimes I'm like, yes, could I just get that as a piece that I would hang on my wall?
Jake says this is such a cool looking mermaid. It's actually a fleuve femme de mange.
Anthony says
Is that
with
right?
100% certainty. He
Oh,
looked
yeah,
up the
that's
French
what I
word
meant.
for
That
river.
is right. And then the French word for maid.
I need cerulean blue. Give it to me. Yoink.
Jake says, I love those faces.
Ow.
We love your faces.
Oh my gosh. Jake has many faces, if you guys don't know. He's like Ko the face stealer. He collects them
Cool.
from those who show him emotion. Luckily, we've only ever shown him emotion through the internet, so. No, I've seen him at, what was it we saw each other at? Max? One
You
of
saw
those
him in
things.
real life? I'm so jealous.
You'll probably see him in real life at some point. You know, we cross over a lot of the same places.
Adobe Max, he says.
Adobe Max! You gonna go to Max this year? Huh? I doubt many people are, but then again, I'm surprised often, so. This, like, definition of the rocks has been mostly lost. I'm almost like, I don't know. Should I fill them in again right now and then wait for it to dry and then do the wash? Or should I just do the wash and then later fill them back in? I'll just do the wash. It's more satisfying.
Rin says, Anna, I shared a rabbit with a voiceover Instagram that reminded me of Jake's silly voices in the
Ratata.
Discord animal channel.
That's amazing.
And then Jake says, that's how I met Anna in her character design talk.
My gosh.
I got dog pins.
Yes, the dog pins were so much fun. Oh,
Hot dog.
golly.
And is the other one a little French terrier or something or other?
Yeah, it was a French bulldog and a
Wiener
it was like
dog.
there was a
Dachshund.
wiener dog, and then there was a third one that was like a fluffy white
A
one.
yellow fluffy one. Oh, is it?
I mean, it was cream, but
It says good boy on it, on
Yeah.
his shirt that he's wearing.
which is yellow, I believe. I know that I made that one after a specific breed, but now I'm forgetting the name of it.
I'll take a picture of
Oh, he's way far away from the microphone.
I'm also whispering, which doesn't really help.
That's just how you do. When I'm far away, I like to whisper. It's just for me.
Okay, I took a picture. I'm going to post it on Discord in the, I don't know.
Thanks for everything. Thanks
Where
for
should
all
I
the
post it?
fish.
Any suggestions on where I should post this picture of Anna's
Show and
pins from
tell.
Adobe Max? Oh, perfect. Thanks. I was just going to keep talking until somebody says something.
I'm very good at telling you things. Hey, Anthony, did you know about iodized salt? What? Crazy.
We'll have little Easter eggs of some other stuff in here too.
Oh, like what stuff?
The postcard that Yusra sent to me when I bought some pins from her.
Yeah. Aw. This was amazing.
And some other pins in the very top of the traditional dragon piece that you sent.
My gosh.
Or that you made for me.
Honestly, your boards are like an ode to so many artists that you should share them regularly. Just be like, hey, look at this. Hey, look at this.
That's pretty cool. This is pretty cool too. Oh, that's nice.
Very cool indeed. Alright, let's try this white chin expansion again. She's getting chin surgery on her chinny chin chin. Chinchilla.
And tell
And
Anna's dog pins.
This sounds not painful at all.
Post. I mean, share. Who, me?
No, I was talking to my other friend, Anthony.
What?
What? Get out of here.
Introduce me.
Oh, I mean, hey, Anthony. Hey, Anthony. Would you ever date somebody with your name?
Sure. I don't see why not.
Because their name is Anthony.
Actually, that does bring me back to a guy I had a crush on in like middle school. His name was also Anthony. So yes.
Very readily and willingly, yes.
Jake
right,
says,
Anthony, it's now your time.
and I am not planning on going to Adobe Max this year.
Well, how dare you? I'm not either, but you know, still, how dare you? Do you see definitions?
Rin says, I feel like it would be so awkward to date someone with the same name.
Well, if you had a Rin, that would be an interesting one, because, like, I don't know anybody else named Rin.
Is that shorthand for something?
I will let Rin tell you.
Yeah, I don't know if we would come up with pet names for each other, call each other by given name or nickname, or I don't know how it would feel.
Definitely, yeah. That's the thing, is like, I think I'd go nickname, but if I had an Anna, then I'd be like, my little banana, full of potassium.
Right. Anthony doesn't really rhyme with much. Rin says, not exactly. Rin is my chosen name. Ah, nice. It's a good one. Good choice.
Good choice.
Maybe I'm a little biased because my middle name's Ryan. And it just looks very familiar to me.
Oh, Jake, you didn't get to see. This is the earlier piece we did on stream.
Yeah. One and done. That also took 2 minutes. It was very impressive.
No, I did this last night, and I said I did it in just a short amount of time, so everybody was making fun of me.
Everybody was impressed. I don't know if they were making fun of you. Is that what you feel compliments are?
Yeah.
Oh, Jake's making fun of you in the chat. He says, that's so awesome.
Oh, man, you got me. You roasted. Oh, remember to drink water, everybody.
Oh, yeah. He also said, hot dang.
Hot dang.
Ren says, yes, I get so many people calling me Ryan or Rhine, but I'm used to it.
Rhine! Oh, the rhinestone. Isn't that a thing? It's like a stone in Scotland.
Is that R-I-N-E? I know.
No, I think it's
rhinestone.
Oh, it's the Rhineland. That's what I'm thinking of. That was it's a thin strip of land. I want to say in what was Czechoslovakia, I think. This is all very fuzzy memory stuff, so please feel free to correct me. But it was R-H-I-N-E.
Yeah, rhinestone. Oh, and Jake says there's a Rhine River.
Like a river.
Second time that's come up on stream today.
Yeah.
Jake also said, that's so awesome. Oh, wait. He already said that. But in a different tone this time. Isn't that fun?
Wow.
I could read comments multiple times and it feels different each time. Rin says, but I also grew up with people just calling me by my last name, Hannah.
Yeah, that's a very easy one to just be like, oh yeah, it's your name. First,
there was
last,
one
middle,
person that called me by my last name in high school.
Call me by my last name.
Currently, I don't know. We don't hang out very much, but sometimes he just calls me Sims.
I know who you're talking about.
He used to call me Smalls from
Smalls.
Sandlot.
Yeah, that's so good. Oh, I love it.
Or maybe that's what I just thought of when he called me Sims, because it had the same feeling as Smalls.
That makes sense. Aaron used to call me Nanza. Way back in
Do you know why?
elementary school. I think it's just like the letters of my name, but with a Z.
Right.
More fun that way.
Where did hers come from? Her nickname.
Which nickname are you talking about?
Enronomicron.
Oh, that one. I think it started with Enron, because that was a big thing back in the early 2000s. Which is an unfortunate nickname. And then it just expanded from there. Like the Necronomicron or something like that. Enronomicron.
Oh. What's Necronomicron?
I believe that is a book that is something to do with death. But
Not
somebody else
cats?
probably knows more. Neconomicron?
Aw, cute.
The gato version.
I don't know what a nomicron is.
Nom on the crumb.
Name of time.
I'm not an expert, so if I'm totally off, please shout at the screen as loud as you possibly can. Wake the neighbors.
Jake says, my boss is awful about people with last names that could also be first names. She will always use the last name as the first name, always.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I'm bad in the opposite way, where if people go by their last name and I find out what their first name is, the last name just leaves my mind and I start calling them their first name.
Who goes by their last name that you know of?
It was Clark. At the student store.
That's so funny.
His name was John, and when I found that out, I just like slip of the tongue all the time.
Yeah, you're
like,
just
John.
like, oh, you're not, no Clark. No.
You're not Clark anymore.
That's so funny.
You're John.
Yeah, forever. What was I gonna say? The thing that Jake said.
Awful about last names. Saying
names.
the last name as the first name, always.
Okay, I thought I had something there. It reminded me of something, and I totally forgot in that just
Oh, it's
span of
okay.
time.
Rin says, though nicknames are fun though in retrospect, as long as they are acceptable and not cringy. Though
my gosh, yeah.
I was this ridiculous kid that gave nicknames to everyone because I was awkward and shy.
Yes, join the club.
Wait, isn't that counterintuitive to being awkward and shy? You're talking to people more and being creative.
Well, it's just like saying, hey, we're gonna make this nickname, and like, you know how nicknames are usually a kind of, you know, a person well to give them one.
Term of endearment.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe Rin just felt like, I just gave everyone a nickname. That's how I made them feel like, or maybe I felt like I was closer to them. They felt like they were closer to me, but like artificially. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe. But I totally understand that. I did that same kind of thing as a kid very often. I was notorious for giving bear hugs to everyone, and I think that was my way of being like, you like me, don't you? Like, oh, I'm showing you so much love. And apparently Arlo does that now, and she's like, she's just like you.
Oh. Jake says there's a guy named John Gilbert, and she called him Gilbert today.
Oh.
And there's this other guy, Alan Marcus, and she always calls him Marcus. His email signature even says, please call me Alan, not Marcus.
That's so funny. Oh, that's
that reminds me.
Sorry, go on.
Oh, you go ahead before you forget. I'll forget
Thank
mine
you,
instead.
So nice.
We'll take turns.
Anthony really understands me. So, yes, it reminded me of what I had forgotten earlier, which was that James was constantly called David because his last name is Davis Court. So it's just
That makes
this, like,
no sense.
Davis Court. David. You're David.
Okay, sure.
It's what happens, you know?
My thing was, and you've heard this story, and I probably said it a few times on stream already, but in high school, someone was writing names up on the board, and they wrote mine as Andrew, and I rose my hand, and I was like, hi, excuse me, you spelled my name wrong. It's Anthony, not Andrew.
I love the power behind that. Just like, I'm gonna tell you how you spelled it wrong. It's a different name.
It's 100% wrong.
Anthony,
Oh, she was a fun
up.
teacher.
Wait, was that
One
Miss
time-
Riso?
Yeah. One time, it was like a film class we were in or something,
Oh,
and
she's the
I did like a music video type of thing for Gwen Stefani's song Bananas or whatever it was called. This Isht is Bananas. B-A, yeah.
Yes.
And then I titled it This Isht is Bananas, but I spelled out the word but with special characters like the $sign and then the hashtag and exclamation mark, and then I think just like a T or something.
Classic.
And I think she failed me because of it or
Oh,
something. And
my
she was like,
gosh.
that's inappropriate. And I was like, it's funny. Why don't you go tell Andrew? Okay.
You were such a sassy little high school boy.
Oh, I really was. I feel like it's calmed down a lot because authority isn't as prominent in my life. But
Yeah, definitely. It's your response to authority, 100%.
I don't like it.
You tell me I fail? Okay, well, I'm going to do everything in my power to just fight you.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, so funny. Well, that ish was bananas. I'm glad we made it through high
Sure
school.
was. Alessandra says, people have called me my last name too. It's so weird for me. Or call me Alexandra Elisangela.
Elisangela. Wow.
Elisangela is a fun name. I haven't heard that before.
Indeed. There are many fun names. I enjoy them all. I've been called many things. I think still one of my coworkers would call me Anne instead of Anna. If I were around them. But yeah, Hannah and Anne are the most constant, I'd say, as an Anna.
What about Anna?
Oh yeah, that's true. Honestly, I've just adopted that as a different pronunciation of my name. So honestly.
But Anna is with one N.
Yeah, but it's like if you were to address me and you spoke Spanish, you'd probably just say Anna, no matter what spelling.
Huh, maybe. One time I said someone's name as Angelica and she got really offended and she's like, it's Angelica. And I was like, whoa, coming on a little strong there. Like, I've just been used to reading it as Angelica. You don't have to be mean about it.
She probably went through something that day.
She probably did, but that's no reason to treat me poorly.
Oh,
just
no,
be like, oh, actually, it's just Angelica. Like, okay, I'll call you Angelica then. I have no problem with that, but don't bite my head off for saying it wrong.
Yes. Angelica was reacting like Angelica from the Rugrats.
The Rugrats, yeah.
That was quite the character.
Rin says, I particularly remembered the weird nicknames I gave extended family. An older cousin who I called the man. My grandmother's sister I called the mean one. I feel so bad now.
No!
My great-grandmother's sister's nickname was Aunt Needy. Her name was Vanita.
Oh my god!
But instead of saying her name, I would spell it out. Aunt Needy.
Wow. That is...
For such a long time.
interesting.
And Jake says, watching you paint is so soothing. And Rin agrees.
So
and then Jake says, my boss is named Anna, but pronounced Anna.
There you go. Boom. See?
Weird. And it's throwing me off the way I pronounce all of my friends' names, Anna. Friends named Anna.
It's fine. I'll respond to whatever. Or I won't respond to anything. So, like, don't worry about it. It's just... I don't know. At a certain point, I think I got used to it. But then Anthony got obstinate about his. So, like, he's not Andrew.
Well, Andrew's a completely different name. People have mispronounced my name or called me nicknames, and I'm fine with it. Except Tony always felt weird. I knew a bunch of British people, and they just called me Anthony without the H.
That's true.
And then a lot of people in my life have just called me Ant for short.
Mm-hmm, true.
So that one's also familiar to me. So it doesn't have to be, my name is Anthony, you will call me thusly. I'm fine with some wiggle room, but don't call me a completely different name. Miss Rizzo.
Did the rest of the class react to that or not?
I don't know. Maybe.
You weren't looking around to gauge the crowd like usual? Come on.
Looking around like proud, like, see how I got her, guys?
Got
see
her.
That?
Like, good, got her.
I think I was in the front of the class, so I don't know if I saw.
Oh, dang it. You should have turned around like a theater crowd watching your movie.
Stood up, bowed.
I love it.
Rin says, I don't know what it was. I was really awkward calling people by their names when I was little. And Jake says, maybe he is Anthony. Anthony.
Anthony.
Like very regal. Anthony.
I think Anthony is totally like within the realm, but Tony is one of those like William to Bills where I'm like, I don't know where in the history of names they came from. Like, what the heck? That's so different. The
W turned around and fell over. Became a B.
I really want to see an animation of that. Just like,
I don't know where the Y came from.
I just stepped into a trash can. It's fine.
What?
I'm trash.
Jake says Anthony shortens to either Ant or Honey, right?
Yeah.
No one's ever called me Honey.
Hey, Honey. I think I've called you Honey. Honey.
I don't think so.
You think?
I
you'd
mean, we've
remember?
definitely talked about Aunt Honey,
Yeah.
but
You think?
I
you'd
mean, we've
remember.
definitely talked about Aunt Honey,
Yeah.
but nobody's ever just been like, "Hey, honey."
Hey, honey. Okay, should we use that as your nickname from now on?
Nah, I think I'll save it for my beau,
But why can't I call you honey?
or Jake can call me that.
Oh my god. Okay, I need to calm you down.
He brought it up. Rin says, something I found odd is how people struggle with my hubby's name, Ian. I understand in general, different pronunciations depend on accent, language, and such, though. And then Jake says, do they think it's a lowercase L? Lan.
Lan.
Let's have a LAN party.
LAN party, exactly. Oh, it's so funny. The idea of
We're at 5 o'clock. No more
oh,
jokes.
Anthony. All right, are you going to make dinner now? Your potato leek soup?
I'm gonna go see what's up. I think Sammy's at the store getting stuff, but
Cool.
I think we were tasked with getting some stuff. Oh no, Ashley got the other stuff. But I need to clean out the living room because it's full of garage boxes, and that's where we're gonna have the movie.
Gotcha. Go into the... Wait, you're watching a movie in the garage?
Sorry, I brought the boxes in from the garage, and they're hosted in the living room right now while I sort through them. So I've sorted through them, and I need to move them back to the garage so that it's not a living room full of boxes while we're trying to eat dinner and watch a movie in the living room where we're watching the movie, not in the garage where no TVs exist. That's not true. There's 2 monitors in there. I don't know why. One's an old CRT with a VHS inside of it, and Ashley's like, I want to keep it. It's been in there for 3 years. She hasn't even touched it. Whatever. And then there's another monitor that I think someone upgraded their monitor and was like, I'm just going to keep this one in the garage for years and not do anything.
Okay, wow. Was not expecting that explanation of everything.
Diatribe.
No!
No, now we can use it.
Isn't it like a negative thing where it's like a
It's kind of a negative thing.
Or
yeah.
like, yeah. So I would say no.
I mean, I'm coming at this conversation with a little bit of a negative vibe, so I think diatribe is apt. As a forceful or bitter verbal attack against someone or something. I guess it wasn't good. And a CRT TV that doesn't make any sense anymore in this day and age, where movies are announced as both on disc and digital. Anyway.
Oh my gosh, Anthony.
Anyway. What?
Okay.
Sorry.
Anyways, we will see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in for this painting stream. We had a bundle of laughs. This mermaid has become a watercolor. What? Crazy. What? What?
Sneak attack.
So we will see you again next time, next week. Until then, I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your week. Happy Thursday/Friday. Anthony, is there anything you'd like to say before we go?
Thanks for joining, even if it was for a short bit or for a while, and then you left and then you came back, or whatever. Thanks for being here.
Whatever your story is, whatever you think you are. Yeah, until next time, get vaccinated, get boosted, wear a mask, be kind to yourself and to others. Remember that you are loved, and we will see you again very soon.
See ya.
Bye. By the way, if you go back and watch the beginning of the stream, you can hear Anthony, what was it?
Sipping tea.
Sipping tea, baby.
You said it was a good slurp.
Rin's heart is weird.
Aw, rude.
Oh my gosh, that's goofy. I gotta go back for sips. Gotta. If you check out the YouTube version, then you can see it immediately, but YouTube or Behance takes a while to upload. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Here,
Anthony
I'll post a link in the chat for the YouTube one, so you just head over there.
Nice.
Right now.
Also, again, I'm going to be posting the process for that Fox piece up on Patreon, so if you want to see that, it's going to be soon. And is there anything else?
Yeah, that's good. Wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
I mean, what did you want to say?
Thank you for giving me space to say my feelings. I feel a lot of things. It really started as a child when I was thinking about a puddle one day and I started to cry.
Yes, go on. The puddle. What do you think it represented?
I I think it's the well of sadness inside of me, and as I cry, the puddle leaks out.
Oh yes,
But then
that sounds
it's
about
depleted.
right.
And then I'm sad
No
that the
more
puddle's
puddle.
gone, but I have no more
Oh.
tears to cry.
Oh dang, kind of like an Ouroboros thing. Huh?
Oh, dang, like an Ouroboros, yeah!
Wow, you're such a cool counselor.
Hell yeah. If you say Ouroboros, I'm in.
It's a fun word to say.
It really is, yeah. Ouroboros, Ouroboros, Ouroboros.
Jake says he's gonna hire us when he makes an animated short. Ooh, cool.
How so?
Are you gonna reinvigorate the animated short that you had in college about the fish?
Fish?
The fish?
Oh, do your best fish voice.
What does that mean? What kind of fish am I? I'm trying to purse my lips. I don't know if it's coming across. Fish voice.
Bloop, 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 bloop.
Do you have to do the blubble voices? The bubble voice?
We are fish.
We are fish. It's
Okay,
ridiculous.
we'll
I think
talk to
the
you guys.
viewers are going down steadily. They're like,
No, this is actually the best retention time we've ever had. They're like, how will they end it? I do not know. We're going to end it by singing a song. All right, 3, 2, 1. This is the song
what do you
that
count?
never...
Well, that's a bad choice.
Okay,
End it
okay.
immediately.
Sing your favorite score from a movie. Okay, get the movie in your head. And then
Okay.
sing it in 3, 2, 1.
It's Jurassic Park. A good choice for both of us.
Okay,
Click
we're
the
gonna
button.
say
Okay, click
goodbye, so we should
Click it.
probably say
Shut it down.